Yo, welcome back to KAMMA. I'm Khalil Deal,
I'm Andy O.
and we are KAMMA. About to talk about UFC 309, our final predictions, thoughts, and face-offs for the prelims. Of course, UFC 309 main event is going to be it's going to be the main event, which I am really looking forward to. John Jones versus Stipe Miocic. But we're going to talk about the prelims here, and we got the first fight: Veronica Hardy versus Eduarda Moura. Who do you got?
Yeah, yeah, I still sticking with Veronica Hardy here. I knew Mora was going to be bigger than her because Mora is usually bigger than everybody, but this is also Mora moving up in weight class. She made weight here, so I guess that's good. And I expect the same thing, just the speed kills advantage, the fact that it's a bigger cage, going to be more to her advantage, and just going to keep Mora from getting those takedowns and coming away with a decision win for Veronica Hardy. But you real deal.
Still on the same train here with Veronica Hardy, man. Definitely like Veronica Hardy. Like the way she looks here. Both these girls are pretty much the same size. And the only thing is that Eduardo Moura has the height advantage, but that's about it. They're not. She's not bigger really than Veronica Hardy. They're pretty much about the identical size. Like the body sizes are like pretty much the same, other than the fact that she's taller. So I don't see Eduardo Moura really dominating in physicality. Yeah, she's going to try to go for takedowns, but Veronica Hardy is very good at the takedown defense, and I really think that she's going to stuff some takedowns in this one. And I really think that she's going to dominate on the feet. I think she's going to land more strikes. I think she's going to move around more. Like you said, she's very fast. She's quick. With the tutelage of Dan Hardy, she's going to have a good game plan against Eduardo Moura. And again, I like who she's fought in the UFC. She had a very dominant win against JJ Aldrich, which was also a bigger girl. So I don't see Eduardo Moura really doing much, nothing really to scare us here. So I like Veronica Hardy to win, and I think that if Moura doesn't get the takedowns and starts tiring out, that's where Veronica Hardy is going to shine. She might get some takedowns of her own, and I can see Veronica Hardy even getting a submission. So I got Veronica Hardy winning by submission or decision in this one. Really like this one for her here. All right, so we're still in agreement with this fight. Let's move on up to the next fight of the prelims. We got Hafez here against Oban Elliott. Man, I gotta say though, these guys are looking like really amazing physical shape, man. These guys are phenomenal. Basil Hafez, you can see that he's juiced up, man. He's got to be roided up. He's muscular, he's ripped, and he's big. Oban Elliott is also very, very ripped himself. He's in great shape as well. But you can see that Hafez is just in a little bit better shape. You can see he's a little bit bigger, he's a little bit thicker, and more muscular. Oban Elliott, though, he's still lean and also still very muscular and ripped as well. But Hafez has got to be on something to have all these muscles here and to be this ripped. It's not normal.
They
Uh,
all are.
but I'm still going for Oban Elliott. I'm very happy to see that he's taller here and he's going to be the taller fighter in this one. Yeah, Oban Elliott is going to be, very, very good at takedown defense. Also very good at grappling as well. And Hafez is really the guy. He's going to have to get a finish here. Otherwise, Oban Elliott, he's been winning all kinds of decisions when the fight goes to decision. And I could see Hafez tiring himself out with all those muscles and stuff. I could see him tiring himself out from trying to take down Oban and being unsuccessful. So I got Oban Elliott, and I got him winning by decision in this one. How about you?
Yeah, I got Elliot winning also, fend off some takedowns. Hafiz is coming off that stunning victory against Mickey Gall, and I don't think that's all saying all that much. So I just think O'Ban Elliott's going to be tougher than him. He's going to have a little more variety to his striking. I suggest use some nice body kicks or at least some body shots to slow down Hafez as well. And yeah, I think he's going to get tired. Also, he got. It's not the first time he'll be getting tired. It's really kind of what he does, right? So and he's very hittable on top of that. So give me a decision for Elliott here.
Yeah, I just think Elliott's scrappier, better on the ground at grappling and wrestling, and again fending off takedowns, keeping the fight standing. Hafez with his looping shots and not very doesn't he's not very precise with his shots, and Oban is a bit more technical and lands a bit more precise. So Oban Elliott is the pick for both of us here. Let's move on up to the next fight here. We got Mickey Gall versus Ramiz Brahimaj.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Brahimaj. I just predict that Mickey Gall's going to come out looking kind of sluggish for whatever reason. Maybe he's going to feel that he can beat Brahimaj and he wouldn't be very hard work. But I expect Brahimaj to come out like aggressively and eventually find that sub because that's the way he wins. And I know Mickey Gall's like at another pay-per-view. Like this guy does nothing but pay-per-views, and this pay-per-view also happens to be kind of in his hometown, pretty much. But still, I don't think it's going to matter. I think Mickey Gall's record is going to go down to 7-7, and also expect Mickey Gall to, he's been a little more active than in years past, so expect him to be at a pay-per-view near you in approximately 5 to 7 months from now.
All
So,
right, and then,
yeah, sub by Brahimaj.
okay, so in this one here, I was so happy to see Mickey Gall towering over Ramiz Brahimaj here.
You
Uh,
are thrilled?
I'm thrilled at the height advantage for Mickey Gall. I love the physical shape that he's into. He looks ripped. He looks great. Brahimaj, he also looks really good. Both of these guys are in great shape. We can see that Brahimaj is slightly a little thicker, a little bit more muscular, but Mickey Gall is slimmer and more ripped. The height advantage, though, man, on Mickey Gall, it's a huge height advantage, as you can see here in this photo. I really think that Brahimaj will have a hard time with the takedowns on Mickey Gall. Also, let's not forget that Mickey Gall is a submission guy as well, so he's very good at grappling. He's got very good jiu-jitsu as well. So if this fight stays standing, I like Mickey Gall to land more strikes and punches and better punches because Ramiz Brahimaj, I have to say it again, cannot strike for shit. He does not fucking strike. He cannot fucking strike. And that's the problem that he has. He's a guy who doesn't even try to stay on the feet. He goes directly for your legs, directly starts to shoot and go for the grappling and go for the takedowns because that's where he wants the fight to be, on the ground. He'll also let himself fall on the ground and hope that you'll follow him to the ground. Mickey Gall is going to stay on the feet as much as he can. And I can see him landing some hard punches, landing some body punches, some kicks. And if the fight goes to the ground, he could scrap down there as well. He just has to be very careful not to get in a bad position because Brahimaj is a submission specialist as well. But I got Mickey Gall winning this one. I have him winning by sub or decision, and very confident about this one.
Why don't you pick one outcome?
If I'm going to pick one outcome, I'm going to say he gets the submission. I think that he's going to actually get the submission because Brahimaj is going to try to stay on the ground, and Mickey Gall will be able to use his height advantage and his length to get Brahimaj in a weird position and lock up a submission. So I'll go Brahimaj. I'll go Mickey Gall by submission, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to a decision here. All right, so we're still in disagreement. I thought you were going to change your mind after you saw the size of this guy here.
No, I knew Mickey Tall's taller than everyone he fights, but doesn't stop him from being 7-6, you know? So.
All right, let's move on up to the next fight here. We got Marcin Tybura versus Jonathan Diniz. Love what I'm seeing here. Marcin Tybura looks in good shape. He looks pretty big. Diniz, he's also in decent shape. Both of these guys are a little chunky around the stomach area, but Tybura looks pretty good, man. I like that he's taller than Denise. Now, Tibura, the way he's going to have to win this fight here is get the fight to the ground. He's going to have to take down Jonata Denise, and that's how he's going to win. I had Jonata Denise in the early predictions. I have switched my pick. I have switched my pick. I am going for Marcin Tybura now, and the reason why I'm going for Marcin Tybura, I thought about it. I thought about it long and hard, and I was realizing, hey, wait a second here. Marcin Tybura is a fucking vet. This guy is 25-9. We're talking massive amounts of fights that this guy has fought, man. We're talking 4 fights, okay? As opposed to 8 fights only for Jonata Denise. Another thing that I wanted to talk about. In the fight against Carl Williams, Jonata Denise was taken down towards the end of that fight easily by Carl Williams, and he probably felt like an idiot for not doing it earlier in the fight. Also, when he fought Austin Lane, a guy who's not even the best at grappling, was able to also take down Jonata Denise. I'm thinking here that Marcin Tybura takes down Jonata Denise, and Jonata Denise on his back is a fish out of water. He does not know what to do when he's on the ground. He has a hard time getting back up. The weight difference in Marcin Tybura, he's a heavy fucking guy. I think that when he lies on top of Jonata Denise, if he takes him down, he's staying down the whole rest of the round. And I see some ground and pound from Tybura, maybe even a submission. So I switched my pick. I'm going with Marcin Tybura to win, and Marcin Tybura to win by KO or submission in this one. There you go. Switch the pick. What about you, Andio?
I don't know, man. I'm not switching my pick here. I don't have any faith in. No way. I have no faith in Martin Tybura to do what he's supposed to do because he has a couple takedowns in his career, right? The guy's old. The guy just, he's a mopey kind of fighter that doesn't move around too much, that doesn't fight with any urgency. Like I talked about those 2 instances actually in our first video. I'm sure y'all watched it, where I talked about that. Then Williams only got him down. He only tried once late in the fight, right? It probably cost him the fight. But at the same time, like, you're super expecting Williams to go for those takedowns throughout the fight. He only did it late in round 3. So now we're going to be relying on Tybura to go out there and start double-legging Dinitz. Tybura is going to go over like a lumber over there, and Dinitz is going to be ready, though, because he knows that that's the only way that Tybura can win. So he's going to keep his distance and use that superior punching, boxing, kickboxing. He's going to clock him up a few times, and Tybura, not very good defensively. And Tybura, the only way he's going to take him down is kind of a sloppy takedown, kind of in close from the clinch, you know, start grabbing and clutching and hoping and praying and tripping. If that doesn't happen, there's no way Tybura withstands the beating that I think Dinitz is going to give him. So I think give me Dinitz early on in this fight by knockout.
The thing is, yeah, I mean, Jonata Denise, he's got the puncher's chance. He's got the knockout power. But I think that's all he has. If he doesn't get that knockout, and Tybura is very, very, very resilient, and he's also very durable.
He'll get the knockout.
If
he's on the feet, he's getting the knockout.
If Jonata doesn't get that knockout, though, you know, I really feel that Tybura, as the fight goes on, as long as he stays standing and doesn't get knocked out, he could win this fight. I think Jonata Denise has to be very careful because once Tybura advances, if he can get him close to the cage, Tybura could do what he does best in the clinch. And
yeah, there's nothing fun about Tybura at his best. He's got to keep it ugly.
Because if he gets him in the clinch and trips him, gets him on the ground there, it's game over for Jonata Denise. And that's the reason why I'm going for Tybura, because he has that extra advantage, which is the grappling, as opposed to just only having a puncher's chance and striking as Jonata Denise. So I got to go with Tybura here, switch my pick. We'll see if I made a bad decision come fight night. So we'll see.
For sure you did.
we're in disagreement here, but hey, I did the same thing a few cards ago when I switched my pick and went for Abu Nurmagomedov, and he ended up winning. Abus Magomedov ended up winning in that one when I switched. So we'll see. All right, let's move on up.
I don't even know if he's going to try for even one takedown to Burra. Maybe one. If he doesn't get it, he'll give up, and it's going to stay on the feet after that. That's what I think.
Well, we'll have to see here. So let's move on up here to this next fight now with Onama and Romero. Who you got here, Andy? This added fight, by the way.
Yeah, this is the replacement fight. right? Or is it?
That's right. This is the replacement fight. David Onama was supposed to fight Lucas Almeida. That fight got canceled, and then they found the replacement for David Onama last minute here with Roberto.
Okay, yeah, real last minute here. I'm gonna just keep it short and go with Onama here. I think it's a real step down in competition, on top of the fact that he's fighting this Romero on super short notice like this. I expect Romero to come out guns blazing, Mexican style, just go for the kill early on, and Onama be able to withstand that and just use his overall ability to get the win here somehow. So yeah, give me Onama here.
All right. Well, this one here, I got to go with Onama as well. He is taller than Romero. It doesn't show that much in this photo there,
He's
but
leaning in over for a kiss.
yeah. Well, in this photo here, you can see that Onama looks like he's the same height as Romero, but he's not. Actually, Romero was wearing some thicker shoes. So you'll see come fight night, Onama is actually taller by 3 inches. Also,
Three.
Onama is also going to have a reach advantage in this one. And also, I saw some fights with Roberto Romero. He does come out pretty, aggressive in his fights, but he hasn't really been doing that amazing. He fought in the lower level event called Combate, and in that event, he's had some fights where it's gone to split decision. So the fight against Justin Vasquez went to a decision. He won by unanimous decision, but it still went to a decision. And also, he lost to Patrick Lehaney, a 5-2 guy, by unanimous decision as well. His first fight in the last 5 fights against Ivan Tena was a split decision as well. So he only has a couple of finishes. He's not really that much of a finishing threat. I don't see him having the power like Onama. His striking is decent, but it's not powerful. And he's not really that great on the ground either. So I don't see him taking down David Onama. When he fought Takahiro Ashida, I actually watched that fight, and he ended up getting the submission on him. But Takahiro Ashida fought like absolute crap in that fight.
Would you say that Onama is better on the ground than Romero?
I'm going to say that Onama is better on the ground than Romero, better grappler. In the fight against Takahiro Hashida, he was able to Romero was able to take him down, but then Takahiro gave up his back right away, trying to get back up, and that's when Romero got the rear naked choke on him. So it was a horrible loss there for the Chinese guy, and he was already 26-14. He was a garbage guy. So Romero's fought really bottom of the barrel fighters, man. Coming in on short notice like this, there's no way he's beating David Onama. I got David Onama winning this one by KO or submission. And not to forget, Onama does have subs as well, and he's good at jiu-jitsu as well. So there's no way I see Romero winning this fight. So we are in agreement here with Onama to win, but I got him winning by KO or submission. You?
Yeah, let's say decision or knockout.
All right, let's move on up to the next fight here. We have, oops, I gotta move this over a little bit here. All right, we got Jim Miller against Damon Jackson. So for this one here, man, I gotta say that Damon Jackson looks in really good shape. I like how he looks here. He's much more slim, much more muscular. Jim Miller, man, he didn't really look that good. He doesn't really look that good physically, man. He looks like, I mean, he's not in terrible shape, but you can see that he's not really training as much as Damon Jackson. Damon Jackson looks way more leaner, more muscular, more ripped. Jim Miller looks like, he's getting up there in age, so he just has that, regular body type, not really in physically great shape or anything like that here. I like the height advantage for Damon Jackson here as well. I'm sticking with Damon Jackson to get the win here by submission or decision. I think that Damon Jackson is going to be a little bit too much. He's going to be all over Jim Miller. He's going to take him down on the ground, nonstop, relentless, be all over him, drain him down, tire him out, and get the submission or win by decision with just complete control on the ground. Who you got here, Andio?
Whew. Yeah, I say Jim Miller's going to end this one pretty early because before when he had that hot run, his most recent hot run, he was actually putting people away and they happened early on. So that's the way I think he's going to get the over enthusiastic Damon Jackson early on because you're right, he's probably going to try and do all that stuff early in the fight, but Damon Jackson gasses like anything. So if he continues that way after the first round, it's going to be in slow motion. But I don't even think it's going to get that far. If it does, I do favor Jackson because of, just being younger and probably have more endurance in the long run. But I think Jim Miller can beat a guy like this, man. I don't think Jackson's ever been that good. He's disappointed me before. I think Jim Miller has one more win left in the tank here, and I think he gets it against Damon Jackson by submission. Submission
All
in
right.
round one.
All right, we'll see about this one here, man. But yeah, no, I like Damon Jackson. So we're in disagreement with this one here. Let's move on up to the next fight here. We've got Chris Weidman against Eric Anders. So
Yeah, here, Chris Weidman. To me, he looks like something happened with some plastic surgery. I don't know about you. He looks weird here. What do you think?
no, I think he looks great.
I don't know, man. Something's weird with his face here. Or maybe anyway. Yeah. Either way, the pick stays the same here. I think Weidman's just gonna find a way to win because he should really beat a guy of Anders' caliber. I think Weidman's gonna try for more takedowns this time because he has more confidence in his leg. He has to watch out for Anders' power. But I think Anders is not the hardest guy to avoid big power shots because Anders is kind of slow and kind of lumbering out there, and he also gasses. And the later the fight goes, the easier those shots are going to be to avoid. So I think Weidman's going to win a decision. He's going to get maybe a groin shot in there, maybe an eye poke, and he's going to time those up perfectly so he can wind up with that decision. So give me Weidman here.
Yeah. Me too, man. I'm sticking with Chris Weidman. Fought the better fighters, the better grappler. I find the better jujitsu. This guy is, he's a former champion, man. People forget about that. Chris Weidman is really good, and he's coming back looking in great shape, man. He's very slim, looking good. He's lean. Yeah, of course, Eric Anders is a little bit more thicker than Chris Weidman. He's bigger as well, but the more easier for him to gas out. Eric Anders is a bit more muscular as well, but Chris Weidman, I like his physique, man. He's not too big, not too small. He's just lean. He's a good medium size, and I think he's going to be quicker and have more cardio than Eric Anders in there. So I like Chris Weidman. I think he's gonna win this fight. Get more punches landed, more kicks, and I think he's going to take down Eric Anders as well, fend off Eric Anders' takedowns. And I think Weidman can get Eric Anders on the ground, Eric Anders on his back, and I think Weidman will work the ground game to try to get a submission. So I like Chris Weidman to win this one by submission or decision. All right, let's move on up to the next fight here, and this is one I'm really looking forward to here, man.
Yeah.
Jonathan Martinez against Marcus McGee. Man, Marcus McGee is absolutely ripped. He looks in phenomenal shape. Jonathan Martinez is in decent shape as well, but McGee is a little bit thicker, a little bit more muscular. This picture doesn't do him justice, but he's fucking ripped, man. I think he's going to be even more ripped come fight night. He'll look even bigger too and stronger. I like the fact that Marcus McGee is about the same height as Jonathan Martinez, so I don't see any advantage for Jonathan Martinez in height as far as physicality. Definitely think Marcus McGee is stronger. I think that he's going to land some hard shots on Martinez and just fuck him up, man. I got Marcus McGee winning by knockout.
I have Jonathan Martinez avoiding those hard shots in boxing range and tearing up that leg of McGee and winning that way. I'd like to say by knockout also, but it would have to be a leg knockout. And that would be asking for a lot. That would be like 3 leg kick knockouts in the past 5 fights for this guy. So I'm just going to go just give me the win for Martinez and use some of that aggression that Miggy has against him. Because I'm sure if his coaches are any good, they prepared him for the style that Miggy has. Uh, yeah, so give me Martinez by knockout or decision.
Yeah, I mean, Marcus McGee's got to avoid those leg kicks. You're absolutely right there, Andy. If Jonathan Martinez lands those ferocious leg kicks, if he lands too many of those, it could cause a problem to McGee. Maybe unbalance him, even maybe make him trip, make him fall, and put him out of balance. So he's got to be careful for those leg kicks. But if he avoids those leg kicks and checks them properly, Martinez is going to be in for a world of problems if he
I
gets.
I agree with you. These must work for Martinez to some extent.
There you have it, folks. Our final predictions for thoughts, our final predictions, thoughts, and face-offs for the prelims coming up next. Stay tuned for the main card. Hey, like and subscribe. What else should the folks do, Andy O?
Yeah, they have to also share if they can, and yeah, like and subscribe, support the algorithm. Give us some of your thoughts in the comments.
That's it. Leave a comment for the algorithm, guys. All right, man. KAMMA, peace out. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace out. KAMMA.